think it's been different. I think just having good perspective is the best way to approach it. Like, yeah, you can be frustrated and whatnot, but, I think the medical team has done a really good job of, doing my rehab every single day, staying in a routine.
The WNBA's attempt to crown Paige Bueckers as the next Caitlin Clark imploded on August 22, 2025, when the Seattle Storm exposed her limitations in a brutal 84-62 rout, dismantling the media-driven narrative that she could rival Clark's transformative impact. For months, ESPN and other outlets hyped Bueckers as the Dallas Wings' savior, touting her as more polished, efficient, and poised than Clark, the Indiana Fever's generational talent. Bueckers' 44-point outburst against the Los Angeles Sparks, shooting 80.8% from the field, fueled headlines proclaiming her the league's future face. But against Seattle's relentless defense, she crumbled, scoring just 11 points on 2 for 11 shooting with 0 assists, revealing a stark contrast to Clark, who thrives under similar pressure. This wasn't just a bad game, it was a reality. Check exposing the fragility of manufactured hype against the WNBA's unforgiving physicality.
Coming in, getting shots up, but more than anything, I think just focusing on being a really good teammate. Being there for my teammates, being a voice for them. Because that's what I am when I'm playing. So you got to still be that consistent voice when I'm sitting on the bench. So I try to do that as much as I can for them. And
the media's narrative began with Bueckers' college stardom at UConn, where she was a #1 draft pick in 2025. Analysts seized on her early WNBA stats: 19.7 points, 5.3 assists, 4.1 rebounds per game, and a 47.4% field goal percentage, edging Clark's rookie numbers of 19 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds at 41.7%. Her record as the fastest to 200 points and 50 assists, beating Clark by 1 game, sparked claims of superiority. ESPN's talking heads and even some conservative outlets like Outkick ran with headlines like, "No Caitlin, no problem, Paige. Bueckers can save the WNBA season," painting her as the league's next torchbearer. Social media amplified the hype, with fans and analysts marveling at her mid-range mastery and poise, contrasting it with Clark's supposedly raw approach. Yet this narrative ignored context. Bueckers' stats came against softer defenses, while Clark faced relentless physicality, absorbing 17% of the WNBA's 2024 flagrant fouls, 35 total, with the Chicago Sky alone accounting for 80% of those against her. Seattle's game plan laid bare the gap. Coach Noelle Quinn, anticipating Bueckers' coronation, designed a defense to mimic the Caitlin Clark treatment: blitzes, doubles, and physical pressure. Brittany Sykes hounded her on the perimeter, Skylar Diggins-Smith cut off driving. Lanes and Gabby Williams and Ezi Magbagor contested every shot. Bueckers, used to open looks and light defense, folded under the intensity. Her 2 for 11 shooting and 0 assists, compared to her 44-point, 17 for 21 Sparks performance, exposed a player unready for elite defensive schemes. Quinn noted post-game, "We were aggressive, showed multiple bodies, and made her hesitant."
Just try to be there for them, I think, has been my focus. And I think that can kind of distract you from not actually playing, is when you just focus on your teammates and, how can I serve them and help them.
The Storm's rotations and deflections limited Dallas to their season-low 62 points, with Bueckers subbed out early as the game slipped away. Social media erupted, with one post stating, "Paige looked like she was about to cry out there," mocking her inability to adapt. Clark, by contrast, has endured this treatment since her 2024 debut, facing traps, hard fouls, and uncalled elbows, like Marina Mabrey's blindsiding hit in June 2025, or Chennedy Carter's shove last season. She still averages 17.1 points and 8.2 assists in 2025, despite missing over a month with a groin injury. Her ability to hit 28-foot contested threes, drive through contact, and elevate teammates like Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston has transformed the Fever into playoff contenders, holding the 8th seed at 19-18. Clark's impact extends beyond stats. She's driven record WNBA attendance, skyrocketing TV deals and merchandise sales, making her a singular force akin to Tiger Woods or Serena Williams. Bueckers, meanwhile, plays to near-empty arenas, with the Wings ranking near the bottom in attendance and missing the playoffs at 9-28. The media's rush to anoint Bueckers ignored these realities. Her 47.4% shooting, lauded as proof of polish, relied on uncontested mid-range jumpers and minimal defensive pressure. Clark's 41.7% clip reflects tougher shots under constant duress, yet she still delivers highlight reel performances. The Storm game provided a blueprint. Blitz Bueckers. Deny her space and watch her efficiency vanish. Her 0 assists against Seattle underscored a lack of playmaking under pressure, unlike Clark, whose 8.2 assists per game create open looks for teammates even when doubled. This exposed a deeper issue, the WNBA's desperation to manufacture a rival for Clark. Since her arrival, Clark has redefined the league, boosting viewership and filling arenas. The attempt to position Bueckers as her equal or superior stems from a need to create drama, a forced rivalry to sustain buzz. ESPN's coverage leaned on Bueckers' stats without acknowledging Clark's context, facing defenses designed to make a statement, as Diana Taurasi predicted in 2024. Taurasi's warning that rookies face a rude awakening applied to Clark, who overcame it, but hit Bueckers hard in Seattle. Even UConn coach Gino Auriemma, Bueckers' mentor, praised Clark's resilience, setting a tone the media ignored in their rush to crown Paige. Bueckers' defenders cited her 2023 ACL recovery as a factor, but Clark never received such excuses. From day one, she was public enemy number one, targeted with flagrant fouls and physicality that referees often overlooked, as seen in the Fever's August 24, 2025 loss to Minnesota, where Lexi Hull was wrongly penalized after taking an elbow. Clark's ability to thrive, setting assist records and leading Indiana to the playoffs, contrasts with Bueckers' collapse under one night of similar treatment. The Wings' 9-28 record reflects her inability to lift a struggling team, while Clark's Fever, despite injuries to Cunningham, Colson, and McDonald, remain in playoff contention, driven by her gravitational pull. The Seattle game was a reckoning. Bueckers' 11 points and 0 assists weren't just a bad night. They exposed the fragility of a player propped up by hype. Social media posts mocked her as boring and not dynamic, unfit to carry Clark's mantle. The WNBA's attempt to sell her as the next big thing ignored her lack of Clark's intangibles: resilience, playmaking under pressure, and cultural impact. While Bueckers is a talented scorer, her mid-range game falters against elite defenses, unlike Clark's ability to adapt and create. The media's narrative, built on selective stats and soft matchups, collapsed when Seattle applied the Clark blueprint, revealing Bueckers as a solid but not transcendent talent. Fans are fed up with the manufactured rivalry. Posts on X demand the league stop forcing comparisons, with one stating, "Caitlin's carrying the WNBA while Paige can't sell out Dallas." Clark's impact, attendance records, TV deals, and a playoff push, sets her apart as a once-in-a-generation figure. Bueckers, despite her potential, lacks the same weight. The WNBA and ESPN must shift focus to celebrating Clark's singular greatness rather than chasing a false successor. The Storm's demolition wasn't just a loss. It was the night the Paige Bueckers hype machine broke, proving there's no next Caitlin Clark, only Caitlin Clark. Comment if Seattle ended the Bueckers experiment, like if the media's hype is doomed, and subscribe for more WNBA truths.